So there's this question: How do you, how are you able to analyze the markets and actually frag the market or mark the market as one that you're going to look at in the coming week? So this is how we do it. First of all, whenever you get into any market, you look at the long-term time frame. That is the monthly, weekly, and daily charts. This will help you be able to know where the market is headed. Is it selling? Is it buying? Or is it moving sideways? So this helps you to really figure out what you're expecting for the month or for the next week. So for me, I look at the last or the previous maybe 5 or 4 months. For as you can see for this particular market, this is NZDCAD. This is one of the markets that we'll be looking at for this week. So for the NZD you can look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or maybe 6. You can actually clearly see that we have been forming lower lows, and as you can see, this to me is a sell. So this market is particularly selling. Now, what will tell me if the market is ready to sell at this particular time? You see, if it's selling, there are times that it's buying. And since we're looking at the very high time frame, like the monthly, for this particular buy right there, for the market to come, okay, let me show you using uh, this one. For the market to be selling from here all the way down here, it first bought all this movement right there. You see that movement? It bought. So you have to be very careful. It because looking at the higher time frame doesn't necessarily mean that you actually enter immediately. No, you have to also look now back down. This is called scaling down. So let's go to the weekly chart. This is where we are looking at, right? So look at these 2 weeks. You had this week and this week. They all bought. So since we are looking at the market in weekly, if you are to be selling at these areas, then trust you me, you would have lost. Selling there, meaning losing. Selling there in the middle of this week, meaning losing. But you had to wait for particularly this price to happen. How do you also now mark these prices? The same way as you find some commodity gets to a certain price and then sells, let me show you what I mean by this. If you can look at this particular price here, the market came up right here and then sold. Again, it came back up again, stayed there for some time. This is called consolidation, and then sold. Came back again, sold. Came back again, sold. So what happens when you ever see such a price and the market comes back up again to that level? You immediately expect to be selling. That is where you go now to the daily chart and look at this particular. Let me mark this particular price point where we are looking at. Let's put a triangle over it right there. That is where we are looking to sell, right? Let's say the market, you are looking at the market and the market actually got to that point. Let's use this. Right. No. Let me show. Let me um, leave this one. Let's start another one. Start a new one. Let's close the market from there. Let's say you are looking at the market and you find the market at this particular price point. That is where you go back down. Oh, no. I meant to go to this one now. When you go to the H4, the replay pattern doesn't work. So you have to use the daily chart. Okay, now let's say you are looking at the daily chart and you see the market come all the way up to this particular price right there, and you're expecting the market to sell, right? Since this price, whenever the market gets to this price, it's been selling. So once you get back to this point, you have to wait for a confirmation. And what confirmation will you be looking at? Let's say you see this particular day right there, rejected. The fact that the day got here and started rejecting, let me remove this for you to see. You see this? The market was buying, and it suddenly you have started to see some rejection off of the market. So at this point, this is where now you look to start entering. That is where you come and actually wait for maybe the market to get down there. You can have a pending order and stop losses about that area. Let's say, let's give it more room for wiggling, and you put your TP down here. Let's see what happens immediately you enter. This is a 1 is to 2.2, 2.1 risk to reward ratio. So once you do that, let's see what happens. The next day immediately start selling, and look at what happens. Boom, you get your profits. So this is what we mean by predicting the market. You are not predicting. In fact, what you're doing is reacting off of the market. You had to wait for the market to come back up here to give you a discount to enter in a certain price point where you have actually seen the market do something whenever it gets there. That is how trading works. Okay. So for this particular market, let's close this replay button, leave it. And as you can see, the market continued selling. So the same scenario you saw here is the same scenario I was waiting for right here. Look at the market. The market had this level or this particular, let's go to the weekly chart for you to draw that line. I sometimes like to use the line chart. This gives you a much clearer uh, side where you're looking at the market. So you can, as you can see, this is where the market came in, tapped, the price went back up. Again, it's basically the same zone. And again, tapped in, the price went back up, but now we have broken below it. So I was waiting for the market to come back up to test this level because sometimes support turns to resistance. Okay, where the market found support, that is where the market came in and started buying, can also be the place where you find the market taps in and sells. So what I was waiting for is that I was waiting for the market to actually get to this uh, to actually get to this level right there where we drew that chart right there. I was waiting for the market to come back up all the way back up there and show me it's starting to sell or it's ready to sell. As you can see, the moving averages right here, this is the 20 low, 20 high and the 20 low. They have actually confirmed that we are also on a downtrend and we have had this rejection right here. So what we were waiting for is for the market to clearly show us that it wants to sell. And look at what happened. The market got up here, first of all, consolidated for several days, push up, and then push down. And this is from the news that we received on Friday. This is where I look at the news. This is the economic calendar. This is where you see the news releases that are about to happen, what will happen. So for the last week, let's say last week, somewhere on Friday, we, let's see, just price settings, you can see that we had news on the CAD where the unemployment change was really good. We were expecting a negative 1.5k, but we got a 53.6 positive. This added employed people. This shows the strength of the currency, and this has clearly been shown right there. Where CAD got strong and NZD got weak compared to CAD. So this is what happened. And since we are expecting for that to happen, now this is a good and clear indication that next week we might actually see some sales where we shall be looking to sell from here all the way down here. So in Forex, you are not just entering trades because you want to. No, you have to wait for specific signals and things to happen for you to enter. And this was clearly one of them. So what we shall be waiting for the coming week is that we can wait for the market to retest this zone now right here, for the market to come back up here, and we shall enter. And if you look at the H4, we can wait for the H4 to come retest this, or maybe the moving averages to catch up with the price, where we shall be entering at this point, having our stop losses quite tight. So this is where we might enter and maybe have our stop losses just above there and our TPs right there. This will put us about 1:4 is to reward ratio. This is where you risk like $100, get $500, or maybe $50, get $200 or something like that. So this is trading. So if you have any other question, please comment on the video, or you know, yeah, if you want any other help. And if you like this kind of content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.